Let's see, I gotta take this out. Okay, Uncharted 1. It's a pretty fun game. There was parts of it that I felt like the enemies took too many shots, you know. You'd shoot them a billion times and they wouldn't die. So that part kind of annoyed me. And there was a part of the game with monsters or zombies or something, and I'm not really into that type of game, so I got annoyed at that part of the game. It was very Resident Evil feeling. But other than that, I found this game quite enjoyable. Not enough platforming in it. It was mostly a third-person shooter. There was some little bit of Tomb Raider-ish platforming elements to it, but it was mostly a third-person shooter, this one was. Yeah, I don't know. But it developed the story, or started to develop the story, and developed Drake as a character, sort of. You got sort of attached to Drake in this, I think. At least I did. I started to. Anyways, Drake, Uncharted 1, I thought it was fun. But after I finished it, I don't know, it took me a while to start on Uncharted 2, and I got these as a pack, so I could have just started right up on Uncharted 2, but I wasn't in the Uncharted mood, so to speak. I was done with the whole jungle atmosphere thing at that point in time. I just wasn't feeling it. So, later, and I did beat it. I beat all 3 of these games. Later, I picked up, or I didn't pick up, it's in the box, but I played Uncharted 2. And like L.A. Noire, I just couldn't stop playing it. I played it for like 3 or 4 days solid, and I just loved it. I really loved what I really loved about it is the collapsing, moving environment. Like, where you would normally put a cinematic, you put like not a quick time event, but like some of it was, I guess, but like like at the very, I'll just put it this way, the very beginning of the game, you sort of open up by climbing up a train that is falling down a cliff as you climb up it. It's really neat mechanics. At the time, I'd never really seen anything done in that manner. So, this game was incredible to me. I really think Uncharted 2 is a reason to own a PlayStation 3. It's really that good. And I know, I didn't find these games that appealing either, just by the box. Like, when I looked at them and everybody was ranting and raving about them, I'm like, well, I don't know, they look like jungle kind of Tomb Raider-y games, not really my thing, but after playing 2, I understand where all the praise is coming from, because it's just, there's not anything else on consoles like it. It's really, really good. That's all I can say about it. It's really well done, and it's so it just sucks you in. It's so enthralling. I don't know. I can't give this game enough praises. I really can't. It's really that good. I'll put these back in their box. Like I said, I got both of these. There we go. In a dual pack like that, because it was pretty cheap. And like I said, I wasn't that, like, I was just like, oh, I'll pick it up. People say it's pretty good. So, but after playing that, I immediately, well, not immediately, because it wasn't out yet, but like day one, like, I was just dying to play it. I immediately went out and, you know, when it launched, like, because I think after I beat that, like, this launched like a week later or something, so it was just like perfect timing. And I just had to go out and buy it. had to get my hands on more Uncharted. And this is really good too. I mean, I know a lot of people say they don't like it or whatever, but I mean, I think it's just as good as the second one. The only problem with it is it's more of the second one, basically. It's just, they didn't do much to improve it. They didn't really do anything to improve it, I don't think. But I think it's just as good or almost as good as the second one. Maybe not quite as good, but it's really good too. It was a little shorter, I think. Maybe. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit shorter. But, I don't know, I had fun with it, and I don't know what the complaint was, really. I mean, I think it's better than the first one. It might not be quite as good as the second one, but it's still a fantastic game. It's still better than most other things I've played, not even this generation, like, maybe ever. You know, so, I don't know. I think it's good. I really think this series, and I know it's been praised to death, but it deserves every bit of it. And I'm excited to see what Naughty Dog does next. I'm excited to see The Last of Us, which isn't usually my kind of game, but I think they'll do a really good job with it. I mean, who knows? And the last one I've got here is WWE 13. I'm a fan of wrestling games. Not so much of the show anymore. I used to be. But now, you know, I'll download the occasional pay-per-view or whatever. I still like watching the Royal Rumble. But WWE 12, I didn't like the kind of quick-timey button press mechanics of it. I really liked the older... I know they say the mechanics were broken in the old ones where you just, you know, go in the ring and beat the crap out of somebody just by, like, mashing the buttons. But I liked that. I liked that whole aspect of it. I mean, I liked it being easy and being... I mean, because I played these games because, like, I liked the creative aspect of it. I liked the GM mode and the, you know, that sort of thing. And I feel like this just took a lot of that away. I mean, there's the character creation is much better, but the kind of... I felt like they're trying to make it more like everything else. And the WWE games, or the SmackDown vs. Raw games, were never supposed to be like everything else. They were supposed to be, well, at least I thought they were supposed to be for fans of the show, which, I mean, you know, I thought they were good for what they were, and I don't necessarily like the update. So I've been hesitant to get WWE 13, and this was, for a while, a series I'd get every year. It's kind of my, you know, people that get Madden every year. This is kind of mine of that, you know. Because, I don't know, I really enjoy wrestling games for some reason. Which maybe that's odd, but I know a lot of other people do too. So I have a huge wrestling DVD collection. Maybe I'd show that at some point, but I doubt it. Maybe I'll just, like, show the collection and not show, like, just show what it is and not show any of it. But maybe if people are interested, I'd show it. But that's about it for PlayStation 3. Well, that is it for... Well, no, it's not. There's more on my PlayStation 3 that's like downloads and stuff, but I'm not going to show that. I only really count it if it's physical, you know. So, like I said, I don't have an Xbox 360, so I haven't really had, you know, much comparison. I've played on friends and stuff like that. Like I said, though, the games are cheaper. They're cheaper than the PlayStation 3 games by quite a bit. You know, you can find a lot more good deals on 360 games and stuff. And I think that will be the case next generation, so to speak. Or I guess we're kind of starting next generation with the Wii U. Although it doesn't necessarily feel like it. Just because the Wii U is coming out so much sooner than everything else, you know, it's not, you know, the other two haven't really even been announced yet, which is, so, who knows, but I think the PlayStation 3, it was in last place in sales this generation, and it's really my favorite of the three consoles out right now. So that's kind of upsetting to see, especially, PlayStation 2 was such a big success at the time, and it's kind of hard to see Sony struggling a little bit. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, PlayStation is one of Sony's biggest assets. They'd lose a lot of other stuff before they lost PlayStation. They would ditch a lot of other stuff before they would get rid of PlayStation, since it's really one of their more profitable brands. So, people saying that Sony's going to be kicked out of the console business or whatever, they don't really know what they're talking about. Sony owns so many things in so many markets. They definitely can save one of their most profitable markets. They're not Sega, people don't seem to understand that. That Microsoft too. I mean, they're not going to get, even if they are last in sales or whatever, they're not going to get blown out really. I mean, they're going to try and keep one of their most profitable things alive. The only way I could see them getting blown out is maybe, one of them getting blown out is maybe if Apple entered the console market, but I don't really see that. If they do, they won't enter it with a home console. They'll enter it in some kind of different way, because they like to innovate markets. So they would do it with a TV or something. But that's the only thing I could see really dropping them all the way out. And I think that's about it for the PlayStation 3. I really love the PlayStation 3. I love the PlayStation controller way more than the Xbox 360 one. I know that people seem to love it, and they hate that the dual analog has symmetrical analog sticks, which I can't understand for the life of me, that argument. They seem to prefer asymmetrical analog sticks. So, I don't know, maybe people are holding it weird or something. Because, well, here's a PlayStation 2 controller. But when I hold it like that. You see, it kind of rests on your fingers. So, I don't know. I don't know how people are, bumping their thumbs together when you just... But, yeah, I don't know. This, it bothers me a little bit. And I'm sure that's probably just because I'm so used to the PlayStation controller, I grew up with the PlayStation. So, I guess that's it. I'm just rambling at this point. So anyways, I know that was super long. I'm just recording now, so I don't know how long it was or how many parts I'll have to break it up into, but I just wanted to go really into depth on everything. I didn't want to, just here's all the crap I've got, boom, 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 boom. So I wanted to give you kind of my ideas and thoughts on things, and, you can skip it if you want. I'll probably do more like this in the future. So just keep in mind, I like doing things sort of in depth. So anyways, catch you guys later.